It has appeared whole and perfect before them for most of the day, its train of sugar foliage glittering beneath the lights. But only minutes before the lights went out, the guests gathered around to watch its ceremonial disemboweling. Now the deep red sponge gapes from within. Then from outside comes a new sound. You might almost mistake it for the wind, but it rises in pitch and volume until it is unmistakable. The guests freeze. They stare at one another. They are suddenly afraid again, more so than they were when the lights went out. They all know what they are hearing. It is a scream of terror.
The day before. Aoife, the wedding planner. Nearly all of the wedding party are here now. Things are about to crank into another gear. There's the rehearsal dinner this evening with the chosen guests, so the wedding really begins tonight. I've put the champagne on ice ready for the pre-dinner drinks. It's vintage Bollinger, 8 bottles of it, plus the wine for dinner and a couple of crates of Guinness, all as per the bride's instructions. It is not for me to comment, but it seems rather a lot. They're all adults, though. I'm sure they know how to restrain themselves. Or maybe not. That best man seems a bit of a liability. All of the ushers do, to be honest. And the bridesmaid, the bride's half-sister, I've seen her on her solitary wanderings of the island, hunched over and walking fast like she's trying to outpace something. You learn all the insider secrets doing this sort of work. You see the things no one else is privileged to see. All the gossip that the guests would kill to have. As a wedding planner, you can't afford to miss anything. You have to be alert to every detail, all the smaller eddies beneath the surface. If I didn't pay attention, one of those currents could grow into a huge riptide, destroying all my careful planning. And here's another thing I've learned. Sometimes the smallest currents are the strongest. I moved through the Foley's downstairs rooms, lighting the blocks of turf in the grates so they can get a good smoulder on for this evening. Freddie and I have started cutting and drying our own turf from the bog, as has been done for centuries past. The smoky, earthy smell of the turf fires will add to the sense of local atmosphere. The guests should like that. It may be midsummer, but it gets cool at night on the island. The Folly's old stone walls keep the warmth out and aren't so good at holding it in. Today has been surprisingly warm, at least by the standards of these parts, but the same's not looking likely for tomorrow. The end of the weather forecast I caught on the radio mentioned wind. We get the brunt of all the weather here. Often the storms are much worse than they end up being on the mainland, as if they've exhausted themselves on us. It's still sunny out, but this afternoon the needle on the old barometer in the hallway swung from fair to changeable. I've taken it down. I don't want the bride to see it. Though I'm not sure that she's the sort to panic. More the sort to get angry and look for someone to blame. And I know just who would be in the firing line. "Freddie," I call into the kitchen. "Will you be starting on the dinner soon?" "Yep," he calls back. "Got it all under control." Tonight they'll be eating a fish stew based on a traditional Connemara fisherman's chowder. Smoked fish, lots of cream. I ate it the first time I ever visited this place, when there were still people here. This evening's will be a more refined take on the usual recipe, as this is a refined group we have staying. Or at least, I suppose they like to think of themselves as such. We'll see what happens when the drink hits them. "Then we'll be needing to start prepping the canapes for tomorrow," I call, running through the list in my head. "I'm on it." "And the cake. We'll be wanting to assemble that in good time." The cake is quite something to behold. It should be. I know how much it cost. The bride didn't bat an eyelid at the expense. I believe she's used to having the best of everything. 4 tiers of deep red velvet sponge, encased in immaculate white icing and strewn with sugar greenery to match the foliage in the chapel and the marquee. Extremely fragile and made according to the bride's exact specifications. It travelled